You felt it last night, didn't you? That weird quiet in the air, the moment when the world was still for just a second too long, when the ticking clock became louder, when your breath stuck in your throat for no cause at all. You disregarded it, laughed it off, but deep down your instincts revealed a terrifying reality. Death was watching you. It doesn't require an invitation. It doesn't knock. It creeps in when your guard is down, while you're looking through your phone, drinking your coffee, going across the street. Death is not some dark creature with a scythe. No, it's a force, silent, cold, uncaring. And it's been following you since the day you were born. Every choice you've made, every hope, every lie, every frantic effort for control has been formed by one overpowering fear, that it's all going to end. You assume you're safe because you're young, healthy, busy. But people die on bright days too. They fall in boardrooms, evaporate behind driving wheels, disappear between heartbeats. And the most horrifying part? You don't know when it's your time. But there are others who do more than dread death. They comprehend it, they study it, they utilize it to control, to manipulate, to dominate. And once you realize how death actually works, you'll never look at your life or your choices the same way again. Because this isn't simply a speech. This is a psychological autopsy, and it begins with you. Chapter 1. The Death Denial Delusion. From the minute you're born, death starts its sluggish approach toward you. But instead of preparing for it, most people spend their lives believing it isn't real. This isn't ignorance, it's psychological survival. The notion of terror management indicates that much of human culture, religion, politics, fame, is created to control the fear of death. Why do humans crave legacy? Why do civilizations flourish and fall? Because deep down, people are scared of becoming dust and nothing more. But here's the terrible twist. The more you reject death, the more it dominates you. Think of the guy who obsesses over his appearance, seeking immortality via adulation. Or the lady who clings to youth, surgically wiping years from her face. Beneath their decisions lies not vanity but dread. A terror so intense, it becomes the puppet master of their existence. And those who study dark psychology, they know how to use that fear. Chapter 2. The Fear Switch. You are not sensible. Not really. Evolution didn't create you for truth, it intended you for survival. And nothing excites the primordial brain more than the whisper of death. When death becomes real, like hearing a gunshot or witnessing a loved one die, your neocortex shuts down. Your rational mind goes offline. All that left is the raw reptilian brain. Fight, flight, freeze. This is the moment manipulators wait for. Cult leaders, totalitarian governments, and abusive partners, they all utilize death dread as a weapon. They invent fictitious threats, the end of the world, everlasting damnation, your family's destruction, so that you seek control. Because when you dread death, you seek saviors. And in seeking a rescuer, you sacrifice your thoughts. Chapter 3. Death Marketing and Manipulation. Look about you. Watch the advertisements. Skincare to defy aging. Fitness routines to beat death. Insurance policies to secure your legacy. These aren't products. These are psychological shields offered to the death-fearing people. Marketing plays on your unconscious dread. That expensive automobile you desire? It's not about horsepower. It's about prestige, survival, and symbolic immortality. In dark psychology, this is termed mortality salience priming. When someone is discreetly reminded of their death, even by a tombstone in an ad, they become more submissive, more afraid, more tribal. Ever wonder why political campaigns speak about saving your children, fighting evil, or preserving our way of life? Because death sells, fear sells, and the smartest manipulators? They provide you the illusion of control as they tug the strings from the shadows. Chapter 4. The Abyss Within. There's a scary fact few dare face. You are already dying. Right now, your cells are withering. Your memories are fading. Your body is prepared for its last shutdown. And no amount of yoga, therapy, or religion can rescue you from this biological reality. But here's where it gets darker. The instant you stop fearing death, you become strong. Why? Because fear is control. And without fear, control collapses. That's why every system, from governments to cults to corporations, needs you to be terrified. A bold guy can't be manipulated. A lady who accepts death becomes untouchable. So what happens when you look into the abyss and don't blink? You awaken, but you also become dangerous, because now you see the game for what it actually is. Chapter 5. How Psychopaths Use Death. Psychopaths don't dread death the way others do. That's their strength. It's not that they desire to die, it's that they've disconnected emotionally from the thought of death. This alienation offers them an advantage. They may endanger death. They may simulate weakness. They can weaponize fear without being afflicted by it. Take cult leaders like Jim Jones or Charles Manson. They devised catastrophic imaginations not simply to terrify their followers, but to connect them through shared horror. When people sense death is near, they cling to the one giving salvation, even if that savior is the same cause of their fate. That's the horrible brilliance of death-based manipulation. You tear someone down with fear, and then construct them back in your picture. Chapter 6. The Rebirth Fantasy. To subdue death, humanity developed a lie: rebirth. Whether via religion, legacy, reincarnation, or digital immortality, there's a fundamental psychological desire to feel that anything lives. That death is not the end, but a transit. This fantasy is reassuring. It helps individuals sleep. But in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon. Religious zealots utilize paradise promises to make martyrs. Tech millionaires use dread of death to peddle fantasies of perpetual awareness. Gurus offer spiritual enlightenment as a means to escape the blank. All provide hope. None can provide truth. Because the fact is this: no one knows what lies beyond. And that mystery is terrible. Those who exploit that terror, they don't need to know the answer. They only need to make you think they do. Chapter 7. Death Cults of the Mind. Not all cults wear robes and sip poison. Some are psychological. Think about the office worker who sacrifices decades to climb the ladder, wanting to be recognized. Or the influencer who risks everything to be relevant, fearing the demise of anonymity. These are modern-day death cults, rituals meant to postpone the inevitable. But the rituals don't work. Because no matter how many likes you receive, or accolades you win, or monuments you build, death still arrives. And when it does, it strips you naked. Chapter 8. Controlled by the Clock. Time is death's messenger. The ticking clock. The fading youth. The deadlines. All of it is a continual reminder that you're running out. And this pressure? It generates anarchy. You overwork, overconsume, overcompensate, because you feel behind. Always behind. Chasing life, frightened of the end. The clock isn't merely a timekeeper. It's a psychological whip. And in dark psychology, it's commonly utilized to influence urgency. Act now, before it's too late. Limited period only. This deal ends shortly. It's not just marketing. It's psychological warfare. Because when the time is ticking, people stop thinking. Chapter 9. Facing the Mirror. Here is the last exam. Sit in a dark room. No phone. No music. No distractions. And gaze into the mirror. Not at your face, but at the spirit behind your eyes. Then whisper, "I will die. I do not know when. I do not know how. But it is coming." Feel your breath. The weak lungs. The heartbeat that might cease in a second. Now ask yourself, what am I doing with the time I have left? And who is regulating that time? This is the moment most people break. They hurry to flee. Back to screens, parties, medications. Anything to dodge that reflection. But if you stay, if you don't flinch, you became something few ever become. Free. Conclusion. Death is coming for you, so certainly death is coming for you. Not tomorrow. Not next year. But maybe. Maybe tonight. Maybe now. You cannot outrun it. You cannot negotiate with it. But you can comprehend it. Because once you do, once you stop dreading the end, you start living without shackles. And in a society controlled by fear, a fearless mind is the most potent weapon. So remember, death is not your adversary. Ignorance is. And those who weaponize your dread of death, they are the actual murderers. So choose. Will you be a slave to the illusion? Or will you awaken? Before death knocks?